Hey, I'm Dave. This is the Director of Happiness here at Cedar Springs Brewing Company, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about original Weissbier. If you go to any of the judging programs, it's called Bernsteinfarbenes Weissbier, which means brick-colored wheat beer. And this is actually based on a 600-year-old recipe, the way Bavarians used to make Weissbier way back centuries ago. Now, Weissbier, Hefeweizen, Weizenbier, all these things really mean the same thing, and this is the Bavarian or South German version of wheat beer, which is distinct from Belgian Wits or American-style wheats. As I mentioned, this dates back centuries, and for about 300 years was exclusively brewed by the royal brewer in Bavaria. In fact, it was up to a third of royal revenues for the kingdom, if you can imagine the government being funded by the sales of wheat beer, the most popular style. And this lasted really up until the mid to late 19th century, when lager beers were starting to become popular and kind of overtaken the popularity of this style. And if it really wasn't for a guy by the name of George Schneider, to use the English pronunciation of his name, we wouldn't even know what this was. He brewed the beer for really 100 years until the 60s, the 1960s, when the big brewers started to get the idea of Weissbier or Hefeweizen again, and that's really the more blonde, real fruit-forward style that we're used to nowadays commonly, and that's when they started adding a lemon to it to kind of cut some of the phenols. But you can look for a little bit of nuttiness and kind of a banana nut bread flavor for this. It's really perfect all year round. This is not a summer beer there, and we like to enjoy it all year round as well here at Cedar Springs Brewing Company. German tradition, crafted in Michigan.